So this might be a somewhat hot and spicy take, but those YouTube videos that tell you to find a niche before you even start creating are just like a total load of bullshit and a complete waste of your time. And before I explain why, I'm just gonna get out from under this rain because I don't really feel like being super moist today, if I'm being honest. So let's go find somewhere quickly to have a little chat, shall we? Okay, I found a spot under cover, under the trees. Originally I was gonna shoot this with a nice sunset, but we seem to have been blessed with rain today. So we're still gonna have a cozy yap, but an under the tree cozy yap. So the reason I kind of wanted to talk about this is because I blatantly and honestly made this mistake myself for a long time. When I kind of was starting YouTube, I watched a lot of these videos that kind of taught you how to be successful on YouTube. The thing I didn't understand at the time is they're approaching YouTube as a business, something to be financially successful. And hey, sure, that's something I want in the future, but I also do this because I enjoy it. And that at its core is the reason why I want to do it and the reason why I keep doing it. Trust me, I would not be out here on a Sunday afternoon when I could be sitting at home playing video games, shooting stuff like this if I didn't really enjoy doing it. The issue was at the time is I didn't really get that that's why I wanted to do this, is because of the enjoyment. So I ended up trying to focus on what I thought I should be making, because I thought if I did that, I could be successful and then eventually it'll become fun or I'll enjoy it or something will happen to change it from being a chore to being something I enjoy. Well, it didn't, because as I've spoken about previously, I did my 6-month stint, and this is a great example of tech content. Because I thought, hey, I'm into tech content does well. If I do this, I can get sent stuff by brands, work with phone companies. It all seems pretty logical. And hey, from a business aspect, it kind of was. But making 3 short form videos a week, basically going, hey guys, here's this latest thing, or here's this review, or here's 6 things you didn't know about the iPhone 16 or whatever. That is so soul sucking for me. And it is just not something that I enjoyed one bit. But even after I kind of realized that tech content wasn't my thing, I still tried to make stuff I thought I needed to rather than I wanted to. In this case, it was filmmaking content, but I was trying to make the really thoughtful cinematic stuff where it's like trying to provoke thoughts or inspire you for greatness. And I think I made some good videos. I don't think I enjoyed making them all though. I think there were elements that I enjoyed, like the filming and the editing, but I wouldn't even watch those back. I would skim through them once I'd finished to make sure there wasn't anything blatantly wrong, but I have never watched a single one of them again. And I feel like that's a pretty good sign that I wasn't making stuff that I enjoyed. And the irony of the situation is not lost on me by the fact that when I first started making videos, even with the short films and stuff, I was just making whatever I wanted. It wasn't until I tried to take this seriously, and I think there's a keyboard video on my account, and I'd say that's the point where I was like, okay, let's try and make YouTube a thing. And after that point, it was just mistake after mistake after mistake. I completely buggered it all up because I was so focused on where I wanted to be that I forgot to focus on what I was doing and enjoying that process. Yeah, man, don't do that. That is such a waste. I wasted multiple years making content that might have been good. It was fine, but God, I hated it. I just did not enjoy that process at all. And every time I do it, it just felt like such a chore and such a slug. And that's not a feeling you want. I was essentially, and I described this, and I didn't realize when I described it, but I was working 2 jobs. I was working my 9 to 5, and then I was go home and working another 5 to 9. I didn't want to do that, but I still kept doing it. Why? I'm still not entirely sure exactly, but I'm glad I did, because I don't know if I could get to this point if I hadn't also gone through all of that crap. And I sometimes look back on my content journey, I'm like, what a fucking idiot. I have a lot of feelings about this, and I feel like I've made a lot of mistakes. And the purpose of these videos is for you not to make those mistakes. So here's some advice for you going forwards in your own journey, whatever you might be doing. It might not be content, it might just be art. But here's some thoughts and learnings that I've had that hopefully can help you a little bit. I think the biggest issues with this is like, one, you just end up limiting your creativity completely because you put yourself in a box, and the moment you put yourself in a box, all creativity just like goes out the window completely because you no longer feel free to do things the way you want, which is basically being creative. You now have to do them in a certain style or a certain way. Like even that tech content was so formulaic. It was like, okay, write a script, shoot your A roll, your talking head in a certain voice, and then shoot the B roll, and you like cut it together a certain way so it has like this right pacing and everything. And there was like, it was very cookie cutter. Cookie cutter stuff is not creative, but if you're not trying to like limit yourself, then you can kind of do whatever you want, and that's a way better time. I think also like this creative journey, you're gonna change along it. I very much, even appearance wise, am not the same person. Like here is a photo of me when I started, and this is me now. We are not the same people at all. So you're going to grow and evolve, and as you do that, so will your content. I've looked at a lot of bigger YouTubers that I follow that have been around for a while, and their content has changed so much over the years. It's still them in it, but it evolves as they evolve as people. It's never gonna be this stagnant thing where you can be like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Because like, who wants to do the same thing for basically until you die? I don't know, I don't really wanna do that. But even then, like, what if your niche doesn't exist yet? What if you are such a cool and special individual that the way you combine different elements of creativity is not something that anyone has really done before? That's a really cool thought, to be someone like that. I don't know if I'm like that. I think most of the stuff I've done has been done before, but if you're in that position, if you picked a niche, then you might not ever invent that niche. I think a really great example of that is Gork's art, because he took what everyone else was doing on YouTube with filmmaking and art and just took it to a completely different level. And that has become a niche in itself. But I think if he'd tried to pick a niche starting off, then he might never have made it to doing that really amazing filmmaking stuff. And finding your niche or your style, it's like any other skill, really. It's something that's gonna take a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, and probably a lot of time. It's not something you can, in a week or a month decide and pick. It's a process that you have to figure out over time. And I think the biggest key to figuring that out is experimentation. Consistently trying different things that you want to try and see what sticks. And when I say experiment, I mean literally any single idea you have, give it a try. And don't ever make the mistake I did where you have an idea and you go, oh, nah, that's not really me, or I don't really feel like I should do that because it's not part of my brand. Just like, do it, man. Like, I'm out here trying these talking videos because I had an idea one day to do them, and who knows, the last one didn't do great. Maybe this one will, maybe it won't, but I still want to try this and I want to give it a decent shot, because I don't think you should try something once or twice. Like maybe a couple of times, I think is a good indication of whether you will enjoy it or not. And you'll know fairly well whether it's something you want to keep doing. But in that experimentation, the marker for success within that is not whether you get views at all. It's whether you can watch that stuff back or look at the stuff you've created and it fills you with joy or another emotion that you wanted to make out of it. I guess pride would be another one. There can be mistakes in it. Like you can improve on this stuff. Like that's totally fine. But if you're not enjoying it, if you're not vibing it, move on to the next thing. It's part of experimentation. You're gonna have to do a lot to figure out what your like niche or your style is. And when I say a lot, I mean like a lot. Now this probably isn't gonna be the best for growing quickly on YouTube, Instagram, or wherever else you wanna kind of post. But are we really here to just grow like accounts and make money? Like, I know at the end of the day, I wanna be able to earn a living doing this, making these YouTube videos. But I don't think I wanna get there and be making videos that I'm not happy with. So right now, my focus is just have fun with it, man. And I lost sight of that too many damn times. And I guess I'm imploring you, don't lose sight of the reason you create. Hopefully it's because you love doing it. And if you love creating, hold on to that and don't ever let that feeling go. Because the moment you let that go is the moment this process starts feeling like a job. And the moment you start to slowly hate it. And once you hate something, well, why are you gonna keep doing it? You're probably gonna lose that spark that you had originally. And that's a really sad thing. And I don't want you to lose that spark. I want you to be able to keep going and get where you wanna be and enjoy your journey there, you know? I am still very much in my experimental phase. And I think I'm gonna be here for a long, long while. It might be years, it might be, decades. And I'm okay with that, I think. It's taken a while to learn to accept that and be comfortable with the fact that I don't know exactly what I'm gonna create next week or the week after. But I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And I think that's the most important thing that any of us creators and artists can ever do, is make sure that we're enjoying what we're doing. So I guess I'm gonna finish with, I almost feel like I should put this on a t-shirt. Maybe this will be my merch one day, but my one singular point to end this video on is just start making stuff. It doesn't matter what you create. Like seriously, it does not matter. The only thing you need to care about is that what you are making brings you joy. Like the process of it, the stuff you produce, all of that should be fun to you. Because creating just whatever the heck you want, that is the first step to achieving your dreams. So why are you still watching this? It's time to get cooking. Oh, JK, it's still raining. It's still very much raining.